Are we live? All right, let's do this. Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. I don't know if you can hear me. Type 1 if the volume's all right. I'm in a crowded area. We're going to talk about global food prices. Now, I've told you that we are going to be moving into a slight bout of hyperinflation in the next 2 years. I've started talking about that a year ago, and now we are getting data. And I've said it's going to come in food and energy prices. Real estate will continue a downward trend better than the Great Recession. And I said this is going to come as the global financial war separates both the East and the West even more, including the lowering of interest rates. This story is at a zero hedge. Global food prices reaccelerate now for a second month as the situation remains sticky. This is very similar to when Jerome Powell talked about transitory inflation. I said it will not be transitory. It'll be all across the country and the world. And now you're going to see this. We did a story the other day about what's going on with the euro as it rose, the pound as it rose, yet ECB governors are now worried about a very serious inflationary trend. I want to remind you that on Monday, we're going to end the pre-filming discount for a while and the coaching calls for the Tax Lien Pro and the Tax Foreclosure Master. We're going to get all the students ready for purchasing. I think there's over $300 million with the liens right now in Illinois alone for this next few weeks. All right, Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations Food Price Index, which tracks the international prices of a basket of global traded food, averaged 127.4 in October, which is up 2% from the month prior and 5.5% up from 1 year ago. This index bottomed and turned higher earlier this year after peaking and falling for much of 2022 and 2023. Now, we've already been tracking cocoa prices and other things on the exchange, which are absolutely blowing up. Hershey's just recently came out with earnings showing that people are buying less snack items. And the truth is because I don't know if you've checked lately how much a bag of chips cost or a candy bar, but it in the last couple of years absolutely exploded in price. People are starting to recess in their spending, they're pulling back, and they are spending less, which means you're going to see that flow through to the economy through the stock market numbers. It says October's FAO food price index rise is the second consecutive month year-over-year increases. The biggest driver of the FAO food price index was the FAO vegetable oil price index, which spiked 7.3% in October, hitting a 2-year high due to production concerns. Now, we've seen this before where we've had bottlenecks in the economy worldwide with the global the global supply chain. And it's going to get worse as we see specific countries now that we have a new president involved, and we're going to see trade alliances built and old trade alliances completely destroyed based off of what happened last 4 years. You have to understand that the more people are squeezed nationwide in America for higher prices, whether that be food, energy, cost of rent, they're going to stop paying taxes. We are going to see an absolute explosion in liens and tax foreclosure auctions this spring. It's already setting up. I'm already talking to agents that are in the know that are REO specialists that are already getting contact by banks well ahead of the foreclosure process when they're going pre-foreclosure or 30 days late notices. They're getting insane amounts of phone calls. I still am a part of a couple lists from when I had my agent's license and I was licensed to do REO transactions. I'm getting so many emails, it's insane. People are ramping up for a massive move this spring. So the question is, do you want to be a part of it or do you want to sit on the sideline? Now, I got a comment the other day, or this morning, based on my video on Illinois. And this is what it said. I would never buy a house in Illinois, even if I could buy it for $1 and it was worth $1 million. Now, the funny thing is, I think that's one of the most insane comments ever, because do me a favor. If you had the opportunity to buy a house, $1 million house, and I'm not saying it's possible, for $1, would you do it? Say yes or no down in the comments. The reason why I say this is because most humans are controlled by their emotions, and it holds them back from making money and being successful. And also, in those two things, making good, sound decisions. Now, the fact of the matter is, no matter what your pedigree is, your education level, or your background, you can make bad decisions with money, or you can make good decisions like me. I barely made it through high school, and that didn't stop me from being successful. Well, that's my goal with you. There are people that actually think that. I would never, because I don't either agree with the politics or I don't like the weather, I would never buy a house. Well, what about if you bought that house, let's say for $1, and it's worth $1 million? You said, you know what, I'm gonna list it for $500,000. I'll sell it for half the price. Someone's bound to want to live there. And my point being is this is what holds so many people back from being successful. Also, a lot of people in my life have always said, it sounds too good to be true. Whatever I tell them, like when I was trying to convince people to buy homes in 2000, 2001, buy rentals, because we're going to see a surge in home prices. But that was as real estate was falling in price, interest rates were collapsing, and people thought I was nuts. See, that's actually what happens when interest rates fall. It's because things are bad. Interest rates only go down when things are bad. Either the Fed is lowering rates or people are buying bonds, thus causing the 10-year bond and other bonds to flow down in interest rates because things are collapsing. And most of the people in this world do not understand how economics work. So here's the deal. The Fed is now, I would say, pretty aggressively lowering rates. 50 basis points last month, 25 this month. They're now expected in December to go ahead and lower again. That's because things are actually bad. Foreclosures are exploding. HUD-1 foreclosures are now flowing through into law offices. You're going to see an interview I have with a foreclosure attorney, one of the big four in Texas, next week. And he is going to show you what is happening in his office. It will blow your mind. And we're not talking about just cities like Austin. So the question is, and I'm going to propose this to you. You have to say it out loud. Are you committed to crushing it this time as opposed to what you did in the Great Recession? So many of you didn't see it coming, or you did, you felt it, but you didn't know how to make the next move. Now, I'm going to lay the path out for the next move for you. And that is anybody on earth can buy tax liens and tax deed sales in America. If you're outside of the country, you need to start an entity. It's very easy. If you want the LLC course, I think it's $35. If you want to learn about this, and I'm not joking, it's probably gonna take me 3 months to finish this course because there's so much content, it's insane. You can go and spend $4,000 on a course or $50,000. I'm not making those numbers up. Or if you want, the link's down below. It's good till Monday, and then we're gonna close it off for a while and give the students that are in this weekend and in the coaching calls especially, we are going to make sure they have everything they need to succeed in December's and January's auctions. I want to see success stories. So here's the question. Type I'm committed if you are. And if you like the idea of success, just say, I like the thought of it. But Jerry Springer's on. I hope you got something out of this. The Economic Ninja is out. Oh, and Trump won't say this.